What is up, National Wrestling Shooters members and viewers? This is Scott Kisegeo, Will Phil number one, the owner and chairman of the National Wrestling Shooters. And today, I'm going to give you my Impact Wrestling review. That's right, the Impact Wrestling, which is under the Don Callis and Scott D'Amore management. I'm a huge fan of Don Callis, and I like Scott D'Amore as well. And I'm really happy to be reviewing Impact Wrestling again. Okay, let's begin with the show, shall we? The commentators for this episode were Jeremy Bush, who is now a part of WWE, and Josh Matthews. Okay, it was in Orlando, Florida, and here's the results. It says Josh Matthews and Jeremy Bush still on the call. So apparently these are Impact Wrestlings were taped before Jeremy Bush joined the WWE. So I believe he was still commenting for this episode at the time. But anyway, we see the lower half of someone getting out of a car and headed into the building. Impact told us who this was weeks ago, but still a surprise for those who don't follow the wrestling internet. Here we go. And they do a quick little recap of last week. It is now a four-sided the ring ropes are blue again, and I actually thought that's pretty cool. Think that's pretty cool. But okay, the first match was Fowler Balor versus Matt Sydal for the Grand Championship. Four-sided ring, if you haven't seen the news. Blue rope and blue ropes. Okay. We see a backstage promo of Matt Sydal talking about a special advisor. He also says that there's no judges, so this is just a normal be now. Matt uses his quickness and speed early, tries to kicks to the leg, but to neutralize the big man. Surprising as the match rolls on, it's outsider with the big man working from beneath the entire time. However, crossbody blocking the challenger is all it takes to change the momentum of this match for a brief amount of time. But Boz soon drags Matt in the corner and climbs up the rope. But Matt gets his feet up, pushing Bar over the ropes onto the floor. Now it's the champ on the top rope, but Bar goes up to catch him. Matt tries a sunset flip, but fails. Bar tries the Banzai drop, but Sydal moves Matt back up to the top. Shooting star press, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I thought this was a good match. I thought this was a good back and forth match, and I liked it. By the way, I know who Matt Sydal's special advisor is, but I am not gonna tell them because I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't read the internet spoilers. But anyway, yeah, and I gotta say I am very happy to find out who his special advisor is in the next and I believe the 4th episode of the Callis Scott D'Amore era. But yeah, I thought this was a really good way to start the match, and I actually like Matt Sydal. I think he's a good wrestler. So Sydal defeated Bob to retain his title. And then backstage, Caleb Conley and Trevor Lee are hanging backstage with some sweet Hawaiian surge. Conley is stressed but that Trevor doesn't have the title, but Lee is calm. He's confident because he's always 5 steps ahead of the competition. He says he has a lot in store for us because together we are Trevor. Tag team champs, maybe? I would like to see that. And then, but that was an interesting backstage segment. I thought that was pretty cool. And then, KM versus Lashley. Lashley out hot early, though has a bit of issue with KM's power. The Destroyer looks to go for the spear early, but KM sidesteps it, and Lashley goes into the corner as Impact goes to break. When the show comes back on, KM is in control of the former champ. Lashley misses a spear and falls to the outside, and KM follows up with a dive over the top rope, which is not something we see from him. He then tosses Lashley into the steel steps of his Coney, owning Lashley. Lashley finally bites out of a pump handle slam and hits the spear for the win. Lashley defeated KM. Another decent match. I thought this was a good, decent match. I mean, I'm happy that. However, I find it pretty cool that Bobby Lashley is going back to WWE. I think he had a great time at Impact Wrestling. I mean, he had decent title runs, and I enjoyed him being part of American Top Team. By the way, the Dan Lambert and the American Top Team storyline is pretty much done in Impact Wrestling. But yeah, this is a cool match. And then Joseph Park is on the phone with his grandma Jenny, apologizing for what happened to Chandler. Jimmy Jacobs rose up with Congo Kong and said what happened to Chandler didn't need to happen. But he wants the Monster Abyss and he's gonna get him next week. Cool. I thought this was a cool. I love Abyss. I love Joseph Parker as Abyss. Pretty cool wrestler, in my opinion. And then backstage, Bobby Lashley says he's going to focus on both professional wrestling and MMA. He walks by Eddie Edwards and ignores him. And then Laura Van Ness versus the debuting Kiera Hogan. No relation to Hulk Hogan, by the way. LVN puts the belt on the ring steps again like she did last week when she ended up using titles as a weapon. This is where everyone shouted out. And then finally Kiera avoids a splash in the corner and follows up with some forearms. She goes to the top rope, but the champ beats her and tosses her up the top ropes. Curb stop on the unprettier, but Ellie walks down the ring, jawing at the champ after last week. Kiera Hogan takes the opportunity to rope the champ for the win. Winner Kiera Hogan defeated Van Ness. I'm very interested in this Kiera Hogan. I possibly see it. Hopefully she becomes a future Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do for how Don Callis and Scott D'Amore using. Because I definitely see potential in Kiera Hogan. I see a whole lot of potential in Kiera Hogan. And then we learn later tonight that Kiera will get a title shot next week. Wow. Cool. And then more of the mystery man backstage. And then Alberto Beltran and NXT's EC3 are interviewed backstage prior to the tag match tonight. Patron asked to be referred to as the Pride of Mexico. He said he doesn't need to prepare for the caliber of competition tonight. He has to make sure to run down his tag partner. EC3 says he's a card, and that's Separator said Patron, since he's a two-time champ, he said Patron should follow his lead. They have an awkward handshake. Yeah, that was a pretty awkward handshake in my opinion. And then LAX promo. Crowd is hot for LAX, so far the biggest crowd reaction tonight. Conan says that they are always ready for a fight and always at Defcon 5. OVE come out for a match to the ring. They climb into the ring and go face to face with LAX. Sami Callihan says that they hate all of LAX and the crowd because they hate everything. But he has to admit that they respect LAX for what they went through. And if they don't end it, someone's going to end up 6 feet under. But they will be coming for those Impact Championships sometime in 2018. They then leave. Conan has the last word. He follows them up if they halfway up the web and says that they owe nothing and they're getting nothing. But in the ring, LAX are getting attacked by the Cult of Lee with weapons. They run off with the flags of LAX. I thought this was a really great promo. I like LAX. I mean, Conan is a good wrestler. I think Conan has always been a good wrestler, and I really enjoy LAX. I mean, yes, I definitely thought that they definitely cut really good promos, and they do a lot of interesting segments as well. So yeah, I do like LAX in the promos. And then now the sexy Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Moose and Johnny Impact. Johnny puts over both Carter and Patron as All-Stars. Impact cuts a promo in Spanish saying that they're going to kick their asses and take them to Slamtown. And then we see parts of a GWN match between NXT's Drew McIntyre versus NXT's EC3. Then Eli Drake is backstage asking Chris Adonis who the special guest he brought in for this segment tonight. Adonis doesn't know what he's referring to, but he's ready to celebrate tonight. They also claim that they saved Johnny Impact's life last week, and that's why Adonis caught him from the cage. They play a promo video of what appears to be an apocalypse. It's a promo for Brian Cage. He was also part of Lucha Underground as well. And then EC3 and Alberto El Patron versus Johnny Impact and Moose. Early on, Carter finds himself taking Moose punches from both Johnny and Moose. Moose is eventually distracted by Alberto, and EC3 is able. It's distracted by Alberto, and EC3 is able to capitalize with a knee. This gives Carter and Patron's team the control. EC3 tosses Moose out of the ring and turns on to distract the referee. Alberto tosses Moose into the guardrail. While this is happening, Johnny is furious. After some punishment, Moose is able to reverse a suplex and tag in his partner. In comes Johnny, delivering strikes to Carter and then a dropkick, standing Spanish fly for a 2 count. He sets up even for the Starship Pain, but Carter rolls out of the way. Patron tagged in and runs into a kick from Moose. Starship Pain 1-2. Carter pulls Johnny to the floor as Impact goes to a break. When the show comes back on, Johnny is getting worked over by Patron. Impact able to backbody drop Patron over the top rope to the floor and make his way to Moose. Carter pulls up Moose from the apron. Some Impact can't tag, and Alberto tags an EC3. More trouble for Johnny. EC3 goes for a side suplex to Johnny off the second rope, but Impact shifts his weight. Both men down. Johnny finally able to tag Moose, and Patron also got tagged in. Moose is out with a headbutt and a hesitation drop kick. Carter needs to come back to break in and to break up the pinfall. Impact delivers moonsault drive to EC3. Alberto goes at Johnny and is able to toss Moose in the corner as well. After a sequence of Patron, Johnny Impact finds himself in the tree of woe, and Alberto hits the stomp, but Moose hits the big clothesline. 1, 2, 3. Moose and Johnny Impact win. Good match. I thought this was a good match. And by the way, Scott D'Amore just liked my tweet. Shout out to Scott D'Amore. And then, the facts of Eli Drake's life. Chris Adonis puts over the champ for a single-handedly beating Johnny Impact. And Alberto El Patron trying to retain his gold last week. Adonis has them play up a video to show Drake is the greatest champ that ever lived. Which is just Eli holding up his belt. Then another to show how great Drake has dressed. Then another to show how he's the greatest friend, but it was just a video of Adonis in his turkey suit and taking advantage of. Adonis is angry because that wasn't the video he gave the truck. Drake said he's the greatest champ, greatest dressed, and greatest friend. That would make him the greatest man that ever lived. But here comes Austin Aries. A real greatest man that ever lived. Austin said that he had to come out and dispute who the real greatest man who ever lived was. And he's got some facts of his own. He's a 6-time longest reigning X Division champion. He's a former tag team champion, a former world heavyweight champion, and he's been traveling the world collecting championships. The last fact, he and Drake never mixed it up in the ring, and to calm the greatest man who ever lived, Eli needs to beat him. Drake said that everything Aries says is a former and somewhere else. He says if Austin Aries wants to do it right now, they won't. Chris Adonis hits Aries with the title. Now Drake is ready to have this match. They call down a rep. He goes for the cover, but Aries kicks out a 2. Championship matches on. Aries versus Drake for the title. Eli charges into the corner, but Aries moves. Drop kick in the corner. Brainbuster 1-2-3. New champ. Austin Aries defeats Drake to win the Impact World Championship. really, I thought this was a really good ending main event segment. Um, I like. I thought it was pretty hilarious the way Austin Aries defeated Eli Drake for the title. I would actually like to see a match between them two, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed this Impact. I would rate it an 8 and 5 stars and 2 thumbs up. I'm really interested to see what Don Callis and Scott D'Amore can do with the Impact's new era. I'm really looking forward to where they take it, because for the last couple of years I wasn't really a big fan of Impact Wrestling, but now that it's under Don Callis and Scott D'Amore, I'm starting to like it again. And like I said, Don Callis and Scott D'Amore, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. Anyway, I enjoyed this. Comment down below, whoever's seen this Impact, and tell me what you thought of it. Anyway, shout out to the viewer that's watching. Anyway, you know who to subscribe to. You stay classy, live long and prosper, and peace out. And shout out to Don Callis and Scott D'Amore. Good night, everybody. I'll be doing more reviews of Impact Wrestling, WWE, SmackDown Live, NXT, Ring of Honor, all kinds of wrestling. Anyway, you say, once again, keep it classy, A-Class A. Peace out.